Hey there. Well, I'm F Zappa 20, and we are back here to talk about Trey. Trey and the band stopped in Cincinnati last night at the Andrew J. Brady Center. Still a relatively new venue. Been there twice to see Billy Strings play. Seems like a cool place. As long as there are not multiple events going on. Seems like a fun little night out in Cincinnati. Go see Trey and Jen and Russ and Desron and Ciro and the Milkman. And that other lady, Natalie, I believe her name is. Was that it? I feel like, who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody? Trey introduces the band late in the show. It's on Live Fish, obviously, as always. So we'll just start with the first set, but not spend a lot of time here. It was not my favorite set of the two, we'll say. Got a good start, though, with the Wolfman's Brother. Once again, a nice mix of older Trey songs, more newer Trey songs. I guess I don't want to say new in some cases. And then, of course, some Fish songs. Get started with a Fish song, Wolfman's Brother. Ciro coming through with the ring this time. No need for Billy Strings or Trey for that matter when you got Ciro back there doing it on the percussion. Then we get to Pigtail, a song I believe Fish has played at least one time, maybe more, and but certainly not a Fish song. And if it was just a Pigtail and it wasn't followed by Mozambique followed Pigtail actually, and Pigtail was okay, not high on my list of Trey songs. Mozambique would be. This felt like a very quick run through, about as basic as a Mozambique can be. As basic as a Mozambique can be. All right, sounds like a Frank Zappa song title. Then we get into Evolve, In Rounds, Shade. And I like Evolve kind of grew on me. The album certainly did, but the song Evolve, it sounded like how like movies in the 80s and the 90s even had introduction credits and a song usually and like some happy-go-lucky stuff going on. That sounds like this when Trey's band plays Evolve. Well, just Evolve in general. It just sounds like almost, I hate to use the word generic, but just like a generic happy kind of song, In Rounds, the skinny little legs, Shade following that. We'd already gotten Pigtail. Doesn't get much better with Set Your Soul Free. However, much like Fish, Set Your Soul Free, maybe the most rock and roll jam of the night, like a really hard rock and jam somehow at the tail end of Set Your Soul Free. They get into Bouncing Around the Room, and then Simple Twist Up Dave, taking us back to an old Trey classic. Getting some serious, this is the first point, maybe not the first point of the night, but one of the points of the night where the bass is really kicking off. And then you get Sand to follow, a big, powerful Sand. Trey being like, hey, this is my band, Mr. Bass Player over there. Nah, he loves Russ. All right, so how's the second set? Very strong second set. So if there's just a bunch of songs that I'm like, it left me feeling like, okay, I'm not so upset that I missed out. Cincinnati, just an hour or so away. Could have been there. Didn't go. However, after that first set, I think I'm okay with it. Now, the second set, Money, Love, and Change and Monsters coming out, just boom, boom. And Money, Love, and Change showing what the whole band can do. Monster showing what Trey can do. Turns out I just like that song. Doesn't matter which band is performing it. And then they don't stop. Last Tube coming right after that. We're getting some repeats of the other night. Getting more repeats than, probably you would expect with Fish, I guess. But, all right, the arsenal's not as big. So after a big, powerful Last Tube, again, we get 46 Days. I just don't like either. I've heard both of them now. Maybe they even played it at Mission Ballroom. I didn't hear all of those shows. But it just sort of sounds like '05 Trey to me. Not a good thing, this '05 Trey. So then we get to Twist, the start of our strong finish, the jam and Twist, dedicated to none other than Bootsy Collins. No mention of his brother Catfish Collins, though, also from Cincinnati. Trey shouted out Bootsy, born and raised in Cincinnati. But little-known Catfish Collins, also a member of the band there. Rest in peace, Catfish. And then, so after the Twist jam, we get into a Shine. Okay, we take a little run through Shine. Felt like we were back in the first set at this moment. And then Blaze On, Push On Till the Day. A very strong ending. At one point, Trey starts questioning himself. He's not sure if Bootsy Collins was born in Cincinnati. He, in fact, was born in Cincinnati. That's right, the Queen City, home of Bootsy Collins. Well, I don't know about born and raised, home of, all that nonsense. Seems like he spent a lot of time in Miami, if you know what I'm saying. So then Blazon and Push On Till today, both again, just like they started with a heavy 1-2 punch, going strong to end the show. And then the Carini, or the Encore, spoiler alert, in the Encore, no letdown. You know, if I were there, I would have had a tough decision to make. I'm not bouncing on a Stash Encore. Very good, both bands, obviously. And, they packed a lot into this Stash. Pretty quick run through Stash, it felt like. And then a big, strong Carini after that. Maybe I would have bounced during Carini. I'm all right on Carini, you know. All right, guys, boom. That's what I do. I spend my whole nights at shows wondering, am I going to leave during the Encore? Just live in the minute, bro. What minute? All right. Love you guys. We're out of here. And the Beacon shows are coming. On to Detroit tonight, they say. Leaving Cincinnati.